for us. Guys are locked in. Thought yesterday was an outstanding practice for us. And then obviously we got one more here, Red Zone Day. So, I like where we're at.
What sets a day like that apart for you? I mean, what helps you recognize that the practice is better than a normal one?
I think when you feel like the players take it over for themselves, there's a level of intensity and urgency that they bring upon themselves. That's where you can really feel it.
We talked about your relationship with Sean a little the other day, but
Yeah.
when you first got into the league and he was position coach, what was the connection? Like, what drew you guys together? Why have you been friends for so long?
Well, look, when I was first drafted, he was quarterbacks coach, and then towards the end of the year, he really ended up getting named offensive coordinator. So, for 4 years, just being under him and learning from him, and he's an outstanding teacher. He's got unbelievable vision for plays, and so I think just learning from him and grasping what he wanted to get done. You always gravitate to somebody like him, and I think that he also knew exactly what I was, and he says it all the time, and I feel the same way, man. It's you want to know. It's not necessarily about what the player can't do. It's what the player can do, and you're going to get that every time. And so you want to know what you're getting from a player if you're going to play him. And so I think that I was that for him. He knew exactly what I could do, and what he asked me to do was in my wheelhouse. I was not going to go out and catch 50 balls. I was not going to be the critical third down choice route runner. But I had a niche, I had a role, and he used me for that. And I think, I think that's obviously where it began. And I would have never got to Dallas had it not been for him vouching for me with Coach Parcells. So, and it grew from there. So, look, it goes without saying, I got a tremendous amount of respect for Sean and everything about him. And probably the greatest compliment I can give to him is that he believed in me always, and he gave me that shot as a player and a coach.
And so, just to spin it forward, those formidable years, I don't know that you ever thought you would be a coach then, but as you look back, like the philosophies that he had about getting, playing to a player's strengths and believing in players, is that really you? I mean, that really rubbed off on you. That's where it started, I guess.
Absolutely. That was, and there again, I go back to, I've spent, I don't know how long I've been in this league, over 20 years. But, you're talking about 8 as a player, 5 as a coach. I mean, that's my career has been with him. And so I see football the way he sees it. That's what I learned. That's how I learned, for the most part, between he and then the time I spent with Coach Parcells, which heavily influenced Coach Payton as well. So, it's, yeah. I mean, what they're doing is really what we're doing. I mean, it really is, for the most part. There's a couple of tweaks here and there. I'm sure he's, but for the most part, it's the same roadmap, and it's proven to have to be successful.
Yeah, when you've been around somebody that long, and they know your temperament and vice versa, are there any advantages or disadvantages that come into it when you got to go coach against this person?
Yeah, I think they become it evens out. That's what I think. I think yes, but also no, because you know each other. So it's like because of that you think you got the nugget, but they also know you. So then they find their nugget as well. So I think he has a pretty good idea about what we want to do and our process, just like I do his, being in there. And so, look, he's not going to shy away from being who they are and what has got him to this point. They're going to lean on those. However, he's going to have the wrinkles. He always does. And I bring it back, man. He is, in this profession, in games, he's a stone cold killer. So that's why I say, he's going to be looking for it, and we're going to be prepared for it. But we think very much the same way. So we're looking forward to this. You know, this can be an outstanding matchup. It's a good team. They're playing really good football. They're playing smart, clean football, and that's why they're winning.
Another,
Jameer can get to 1,000 yards, scrimmage yards on Saturday. Leads the league in 20-plus yard rushes. Is what we're seeing really what you envisioned with the player?
Yes. That's. I was asked about he and Laporta the other day, and the vision for both of those players is coming to life. I mean, what they both are that was the vision for them, and we're just scratching the surface of both of them. But yes, Gibbs, this was very much, man. He is a runner that has versatility to run any scheme that you want to run, and he's got home run speed if he finds a crease. But he's also a matchup piece for you in the pass game. He can do so many things. He's instinctive, and the more reps he banks, he just gets better and better and better.
another day, another question about a C.J. Gardner-Johnson social media post, but the implication, the most recent one, is he's been medically cleared. I was wondering if you've got the same report. Is there a hope or expectation that he could have his window started next week?
Yeah, I got the same report, which is good news. It's great news, and he is. So it is back to what we said. He's one of the X-Men. He's got these mutant genes because he is healed extremely quickly, and it is. He's gotten the strength back. It is secure, and so yeah, he's going to be ready to go here pretty soon. You're going to ask me about this game. Maybe we play him this game. Is that what you're asking?
No, I just ask if the practice window starts next week.
I promise you won't play this game. Yeah, I mean, Brad and I need to talk about it, but it's good news. And certainly the plan will be, let's get him going ASAP. That would be the plan. Get him practicing, getting his legs back under him, get him in shape, football shape. But that's great news. And it's a credit to him, too, now. He's been working. He's been working.
How about Hendon Hooker? I think you guys have a decision to make on him. Is he coming back to the roster? What do you guys can do there?
Yeah, we got to make that decision next week. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But he's been going here for really the end of 3 weeks now, and he's gotten just a little bit better every week, which is what you expect. He's certainly he's raw, and he's got a ton of things he's got to get better at and develop. But that's what you would expect, right? He's a rookie. He hasn't had any. He hasn't banked any reps, anything like that in real time. So we're slowly working him in. He's starting to take some of the scout team reps. And honestly, look, JT Barrett's done a great job with him. Brew and JT working with him, but also, Teddy. Teddy's been unbelievable. I can go down that whole road now. Teddy's been unbelievable for a lot of people here. He's a huge asset for us, aside from the obvious, which is if we need him, he's a guy who can go and win for us. But, man, he does so many things behind the scenes that I think a lot of people don't even realize. He's a valuable asset for our team.
With the Hooker decision, is that a balance of where he's at, but also where your roster's at coming out of the game and what you might need there?
That could be. It could be, I think the plan would be we would love to get him on so we can continue to work with him here because otherwise, you can't do anything. But ultimately, yeah, I don't think we can commit to that until we see what's going on here, and what pieces we think are coming back. I mean, as you know, we just talked about Ducey. We know Mac's coming back at some point. There's a number of Cabinda still out there. We've got some guys that potentially could come back. Houston maybe at some point here. So. You do that, then you're losing guys, and that's what makes it hard.
That's why you could keep Bohanna, I guess, too, just the roster.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make a decision, and so we felt like the right thing to do was to keep what we have intact and let him go.
Super quickly, do you expect to have your starting 5 offensive linemen for this game?
I'm hoping, but I won't know until after today. Look, Frank will be out there again. He's been working, but it's we just need to make sure this thing is we're not getting a flare up or an irritation or something of that regard. So he's doing okay, but I don't know that yet.
Thank you, Dan.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.